You, as a believer of God, are His ultimate plan. Welcome back to the Junior Mints podcast. This podcast is here to help you guys navigate life while helping you guys do your best to have a fun life at the same time. My name is Finn Lawler. Let's jump right in. I'll start off today's episode by saying one very important and yet piece of truth that is truer than true. God has a plan for you. In other words, there's a specific way that your life will pan out. There's a plan accounting for things like the decisions you're going to make, the people you're going to interact with, and the people who are going to enter your life, and so many other small gears that are going to turn that are all part of one big picture. Just chew on that for a little bit. Every decision you make is like a gear, and each of those gears are a machine to something bigger. And that is God's plan for you. So, there is a plan. It's you. Let me elaborate. A while back, I was reading the book How God Makes Men, written by Patrick Morley. Side note, if you have never read that book, give it a read. It's nice, quick, and easy. It's super good. In the book, Morley talks about how God has a plan for you because you are that plan. The plan, according to Morley, is to do God's will and make disciples. You, as a believer of God, are His ultimate plan. Pretty interesting stuff. You're God's plan overall. Think about it. You may think there's a plan for you, but really, you are the plan. Have hope in God's plan. It can be reassuring knowing that God does indeed have a plan for you, which He has a plan for everyone. Knowing that can give us hope and reassurance, and trust me, we all need a little bit of that in everyday life. Hope in knowing that God is on our side. God has a plan for everybody. Even if you don't believe in God, He still has a plan for you. If you're an atheist, for example, or you're like a Buddhist, for example, God has a plan for you, even if you don't believe in Him. Just think about that. That's all I'm going to say about that. I could go way further into that, but I'm not going to, because God's plan, and this is one of the not unfortunate truths, but it's just kind of a sad truth, and knowing that God's plan may not be what you think it is. This is kind of a tricky one. You may have an idea of what God's plan is for you, and yet His plan could be totally different than what you envision. It's one of those things where you just need to trust in what God has for you. Trust in Him. Whether it be positive or negative, just trust Him, because He's got your back. He has your back. Unexpected turn of events and reflection. If some things in your life aren't going the way you think or you prefer, or they keep going south, then I'd suggest thinking about the bigger picture. Ask yourself, is it all part of God's plan for me to face these trials and tribulations? It could be. It very well could be. I've heard a lot of men and women who have suffered greatly, and in the very slim outcome, they were happy in the end. So that could be you. Maybe the suffering is happening to you for a reason. I know I've had my days, weeks, even years and months where I've suffered just unnecessarily, and I've asked the question, why? Later down the line, though, after some processing, healing, praying, hoping, it all made sense. I looked back and I went, you know what? If I hadn't gone through this, I wouldn't have gotten to where I am today. Of course, some of my questions still didn't get answered, but hey, it's happening for a reason, and suffering happens for a reason. And who knows, someday those questions will be answered, but a lot of them probably are not. But nonetheless, have hope that they will be answered. Is this you? How can you relate to that? And am I kind of relating to you a little bit? It'll all make sense one day. Don't worry about it. If something is happening in your life and you're wondering why it's happening, or, how could this happen to me? Be patient. Someday it'll all pan out and make sense to you. Have faith in God because He's got your back. Anyway, this has been the Junior Mints podcast. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening. Remember, God has a plan for you in mind. If you guys enjoyed today's episode, please drop a like, subscribe down below, and we will see you guys in the next episode. Peace.